Well, there are three aspects to look at. The first is the severity of the injuries. As a general rule of thumb, 4 weeks pain and suffering is a minimum requirement. If the injuries are less significant than that, it's not really worth making a claim. Also, you have to have someone else to blame. And finally, the injuries have to have occurred in the last 3 years. It's not quite as simple as that because there are exceptions. And the most important is the child case. The 3 years doesn't start to run until the child achieves majority. So we're looking at the severity of the injuries, when the accident happened, and whether or not you can blame someone else. If you meet all of those criteria, it may be well worth speaking to a solicitor and getting some advice. Well, the team covers a very broad spectrum. Historically, we've done high-value work accidents as a priority, but we also do road accident cases, public liability cases, which is largely slips and trips, and occupational disease, criminal injuries compensation. So the whole range, in truth. This is generally the first concern of the client that consults us, and the thing to say is that there really isn't much to worry about. We do the first assessment completely free of charge, and if it is thought that the claim has merit, we will offer a conditional fee agreement. And what that means is that the client doesn't have to pay if the claim fails. So generally, there is nothing to worry about in financial terms. Well, that depends on the nature of the injury and the duration of the symptoms. There are two areas of damage to have a look at. Firstly, there's general damages, and secondly, special damages. If we have a look at the website and the personal injury compensation calculator, it breaks down quite nicely how all of that works. General damages are the damages for pain and suffering and loss of amenity. Essentially, it's what you've been through as a result of the accident. It depends entirely upon the nature of the injury and the duration of the symptoms. Special damages are the out-of-pocket expenses, which is what you've lost as a result of the accident. It's usually earnings loss, travelling expenses, medical costs, other treatment costs. Sometimes on more serious cases there will be care costs and loss of pension. If you want to have a look at the website and see the areas of special damage, it's set out there quite nicely on the calculator. If the claim fails, there is absolutely nothing to pay at all. If the claim succeeds, there is a contribution for the client to pay, but only from damages and not before. And that contribution is limited to 25% of the damages as a maximum, together with the amount of an after-the-event insurance premium if one has been necessary to run the claim. In summary, if you think you have a compensation claim, do get in touch and we'll give an initial free consultation to see if we can help. If we can, we will offer a conditional fee agreement so there'll be no financial risk to you. Do have a look at the website and the personal injury compensation calculator, which breaks down for you generally the heads of damage and what we might achieve.